What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna jump right into it. Thanks for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy and subscribe if you guys are new. This is a follow-up video on this logging road, food plot trail, whatever you want to call it. We just finished up today and we were here a few weeks ago, and I told you guys we came in here with the bulldozer or skid steer. I showed you we cleared this path out, knocked some trees out to the side, we kind of smoothed it out, and we let it go. It's probably been about 3 weeks or so. Today, we're working on the farm today, and it's sunny out now. We just had a little drizzle, but we came in and I spread 9 bags of lime, pelletized lime. We spread that on this, it's probably a little less than a 1/4 acre food plot trail, and 9 bags of pelletized lime. And also we used the pull behind spreader for that one. It's level ground. The pull behind spreaders work well when it's level. If you have a hill, those pull behind spreaders, they have a tendency to tip over. I hate them on, hills when you're trying to spread fertilizer or lime like that. But this is pretty flat, so it did well on this. Once we spread those 9 bags of lime, we spread 2 bags of triple 10. And as you've seen, I use the triple 10 with the micronutrients. Now, I've used these in the past and I've made a lot of videos about this, and people seem to like that. They were curious about that information on that fertilizer, and it's just, I've only seen it in 2 different blends, which is a triple 10 and a triple 13. The one I used, I don't remember what brand it was today, you'll see it in the video, but there's another one called Bonanza. It's a triple 13 with the micros. Now, these micronutrients that's in this fertilizer, it's very minute. It's a small percentage, but I wanted to use that in here because this is a brand new spot. The soil is very poor. I actually just sent, before I spread the lime, I took a soil sample and I sent that out, and we're gonna see what it is here in the next week or so. But I wanted to get some lime on here just to start with, and then we're actually we're 4th of July weekend, and this is gonna go for roughly 45 days or so on this road, and that'll bring that buckwheat up to about 18, 20 inches tall, hopefully, and that'll give us enough biomass and enough purpose of doing this is to get that enough growth in there so we can work that back in this soil and get something, just get some green manure working back in this plot, just get something in there growing with a root structure to kind of start working this soil. I did not spray this plot. When I came in here, before we dragged this with the chain fence, there was some grass, a little bit of grass coming up in, no big deal. That just ripped it right out, and I'm sure it's going to regrow a little bit, but the buckwheat will grow. It'll shade out a lot of that stuff, and there's really no need to use the chemicals on this situation. So once we spread that triple 10 fertilizer, I drug it with the chain drag. You guys seen? I drug it back and forth maybe 5-6 times each way. I roughed up the dirt, mixed that fertilizer in there a little bit, mixed that lime in. Then I took the handbag spreader and I put a lot of buckwheat in here. I put about 20 pounds. You could probably get away with about 10 pounds on that because it's roughly 50-70 pounds per acre. I used the whole bag of 20 pounds of it in here. Reason being is I'm sure there's turkeys going to be in here. They're going to be eating the seeds. I'm sure not all of it's going to germinate. Some of it's not going to germinate, and it's not the perfect soil. So I wanted to put a little bit extra on there. That way it will hopefully fill in the spots. We don't have any bare spots, and we'll see what it is here in the next few weeks or so. See how it's making out, and then once we spread that buckwheat on there, we took the chain drag and I just went back and forth one time, just enough to cover that seed. As I showed you in the video, the buckwheat seed's pretty small and it doesn't take much for it to germinate. One of the big failures with that is people cover it up too deep. They take these pallets and they drag the soil with these pallets, and you just smother that seed, and it just doesn't germinate, or it does germinate and then it'll die because it's just too deep and it can't really poke out of that soil to reach the sun to photosynthesize. So we just drug it one time, and it's mixed in there pretty good. I can see the fertilizer a little bit, but all that fertilizer in there, it's sitting right next to all the seeds. So we should have some good germination. As you can see, I cleared this out with the skid steer, and we have decent sunlight. This is actually my first time seeing this with sun. It's been cloudy the past couple weeks, and so now that I see some sun, you guys can see back in here, it's pretty good. It's actually better than I originally thought. You know, when you get these, you know, trees out the way, this is the one of the number one issues with this, when these food plots kind of, you know, quote unquote in the woods, is you got to have enough sun. Because if you don't have enough sun, what will happen to the seed is the seed will germinate, it'll grow very fast, it'll develop heavy tops and a weak root system. So if you guys have ever had this failure with yourself, you know, the plant grows very fast, it develops heavy tops and a weak root system. So the first heavy rain, you know, wind, something like that, the plant just flops over and all your plants just lay flat. It's because there's no sun to photosynthesize the plant to develop a root structure, and it has weak roots, a root system, and that plant just flops right over. So I'm actually pretty happy with the amount of sunlight that I have in here right now. So we drug that seed in there. I'm confident that we have enough soil exposure, enough soil seed contact, and I think in the next few weeks here we get some rain, it's going to be popping. And then what we're going to do is we're going to let this go for probably mid-August, be about 45, 50 days, somewhere around there. Second, third week of August, we'll come back in here, we'll assess the situation, and we may mow this down and then kind of lightly disc it in a little bit, maybe with the Ferminator, or we may just drag it. There's a couple options we can do. And then we're going to plant Green Machine from Domain Outdoors. Green Machine is a great mixture for this type of setup. It's got some oats and peas and stuff in there. And we're going to spread this in there, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll just drag it, and then this will be a nice food plot for the fall. And then maybe, you know, 30 days after we plant, we'll come back in and maybe throw some winter wheat over top, just to ensure that we have something, you know, coming back next spring. That way we can continue to work that soil and have something green in here to work with next spring. Not only will it help the soil, but this will be a nice green carpet come spring green up, and we'll have some hopefully some turkeys traveling this road and have some good turkey hunting, you know, next year. So this is a great way to connect some different feeding areas, some bedding areas. As you saw in the video, this kind of loops around this way, back around this way, goes to a bedding area, and then this way goes out to a destination food plot, which is a 3-acre field, and we have buckwheat in there currently. But we'll be planting that with some showstopper from Domain Outdoors, a mix of brassicas. But this connects that bedding, you know, through a travel corridor to a bedding. It loops all the way around. I showed you guys on the whiteboard on how this all connects. So we're going to pack the stuff up that we have here, and then we got 2 more days worth of work to do on the farm. And that's 4th of July weekend. I'm having fun, enjoying life, and I hope you guys are enjoying the weekend as well, and the long weekend. Hopefully you guys get a couple days off work. But we're going to get this cleaned up here, head over to the next project, grab something to eat, get the chainsaw, and we're going to do some chainsawing in a little bit, taking advantage of the cool weather. So give the video a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. Drop a comment down below. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on that next video. Take care.